Well, hello, and welcome back to Pieces That Pat Paints. I'm Pat. This is lovely Miss Kristen down here in the corner. She likes these chairs. They're like way low.
I don't even know which way to lean.
Anyway, she hangs out with me on Wednesdays because, well, we like each other. So.
And I don't have to go to work.
And she doesn't work on Wednesdays, so she comes and hangs out with us, which is awesome. And you know, sometimes she just talks, and sometimes she's working on stuff of her own. Just kind of depends on how things are going. Anyway, we are finally very, very close to having a lot of these parts done. Still got to get some gilding in here, and then we can start coming back with that dark silver and do that. Need to figure out what we're going to do about this cloak. The way it is on the game, there's a lot more going on here. We may just go ahead and trim this in gold. Goodness, excuse me. So we may just trim this in gold and then get some color to the cape and then let it go from there. It just kind of depends. At this point, we kind of need to get this thing moving so we can get on to the next piece. So we're definitely gotta kick a gear up on it. And to do that, sometimes you just gotta decide that we're gonna skip a lot of the extra freehand stuff. Alright, so we are back again, right back here with, there's Miss Kitters, the cute little Octavia, as she is down there. I don't know, you can barely see her. Anyway, if you watch the show a lot, you know we have several cats, or if you're friends of mine personally, you know we have the cats, and they're fun. Our cats have all sorts of personality.
All sorts of personality.
So do dogs. They have lots. Pets have lots of personality. So again, we're literally just trying to kiss these raised areas. Not too terribly worried about the unraised spots. And if you get a little overkill again, we're going to come back. Overstroke, it's okay. We're going to come back and color the rest of that armor in with another metallic. And then a wash. And it's going to help us kind of... Oof, we don't want to do it that bad. Jeez, Chef. Pat, whatever my name is.
It's like they gave you the laughing gas yesterday.
Right? To take my son for his wisdom teeth removed. We had the first appointment last week where they got to tell us, hey, we're going to remove your wisdom teeth. And we're like, yeah, that's why we're here.
Good, let's do it.
And then they remove them, you know, the next week. And so we're in that second part. And for anybody curious, he's recovering just fine. He's back to playing video games and, you know, being a terror to his brothers and sisters. That's how it goes. Oh, I guess we should put on a little bit of music, huh? Get through this last little bit of bronze.
I like that the airplanes will remind you that.
Yeah, right. The airplane got loud.
It's as loud as can be. We need some music in here.
Yeah, those airplanes are... Whew. We live not too far from an air facility. I won't talk about what kind of air facility. Just because, you know, it's mysterious that way and it's fun. Anyway, they're not always flying overhead, but they do fly overhead. And they fly overhead regularly enough to where you're like, oh, that's right, planes. It's not as bad when I lived right down by, I lived over by Real Rogers World Airport. And they got a loud sound coming out down over there. It gets loud. Loud, 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 loud. But, you know, that's just kind of the way it goes. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, I think I found us something to listen to. Some more of this plain synthy kind of music. Seems to work out really well. I don't like things to be too overpowering from what we're doing and take away from what we've got going on. I mean, we're talking about coming through and maybe using a gold on some of this. I do really think I want to grab some of that. Just because the gold is different from the bronze. And so maybe we can put in a few of these, like this collar accent, we can do in a gold. Just to give them a little bit of a different color, you know. And it may not be enough of a difference to really tell, but let's go ahead and see. I could have probably gone with like another gray, but or gray metal color, or maybe even some other colors. But I feel like this gold is going to be kind of a fun little difference for just this one little spot. I tried to wheel it back and watch it, but it didn't seem to... You couldn't really tell exactly what they were doing with some of that stuff. He moves so quick. And he's jumping around all over the place. So you gotta have to make a call and just like, okay, we're gonna... It's just pretty much a whirl of bronze and black. Yeah, I definitely like that. I like that look. We might come back and touch it up again later. For now, let's go ahead and
that sword gets pointed at the camera. It's funny.
wow. I think I am going to give just a little bit of this bronze tint to this thing so it's not completely black. But we really want to be very sparing with it this time. We got a little bit more crazy on the knee pads and his shoulder pads and stuff. But up here with his little coif, I want it to be... I want it to have a real dirty kind of schmutz to it. So we're going to let it... We're not going to get too involved with this. We want to let those crevices stay nice and dark. We'll still probably come back over this with a wash as well. It really seems kind of weird to me to not completely paint something, but sometimes that's exactly what you need to do. You just need a few streaks Put something in there to help kind of create a texture for the colors. So like once the next set of colors get in, once we start applying the washes and stuff like that, it'll start making more sense. But even at this, even if we didn't wash it, that's got the griminess that we want right there. Okay, now comes the fun part. I'm gonna paint every single one of these silly panels. Isn't plate mail wonderful? I do like Pro Acryl. This is a pretty good company. I see why a lot of people, I said this before, I see why a lot of people really like their products. That may have been a little more than we needed, but I think we're alright. They're already a pretty good consistency, so you're not really going to have to thin these guys out a whole lot. Alright. I don't know why I started on his legs first, but I always do. I started on the legs, and I've been working on this guy down and then up since I started working on the main figure. It's very strange. Usually I go from the top down. Maybe it's just a little bit more comfortable holding it this way. And so like I'm subconsciously kind of putting it off, you know?
Yeah, that one is a lot to hold.
He is a lot. He's a heavy guy. It's been a really neat model to paint. It's been a long time since I painted anything at this scale, so it's been kind of fun.
Right.
Since I did the Falcon, I guess the Millennium Falcon's the only thing that was, recent memory that I painted was this big.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this has a lot more going on than the Falcon did.
Oh yeah, the Millennium Falcon was super easy. It's just you're just putting a little bit of color here and there. Heck, a lot of that was just dry brush, airbrush then dry brush. Airbrush wash then dry brush. There's a lot more techniques involved in something like this.
Mm.
I got so used to using all of those thick paints all the time. These thinned out, these like ready to go thinned out paints are a trip.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's really thin.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be careful. I keep my brush so wet a lot of times that like I can over wet something like this.
Mm.
And it just gets too thin.
Just become a running mess.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's cool. You can see the difference now between like where we've done that wash and where it's not been washed. And you see how that black looks?
Yep.
That looks a lot more like a black metallic. Where this is definitely, oh, that's even better. See how it caught the color? I'm going to try to make it this nice black smoky color. and it may need like a double wash on it, but I want to be able to get some of the details that are in the plate out, because there's scratches and dents and gouges in the plate. I want to be able to try and showcase that a little bit more. And I feel like that's the way to do it. In the game, it's kind of hard to tell if it's even metal at all, or if it's just some sort of like black stone or something. I don't know. But I feel like once we kind of get this all set up, the way it'll look will look more true to life. When you really look at it, you're like, oh wow, that looks great, because it'll look like metal, black metal. How the pandas coming?
I gotta do their backgrounds. I have a sinus headache right now, so I don't know how much I'm gonna do on them.
Yeah, the allergies out here have been really just ripping up lately. It's been rough. I have this just constant drainage going on in the back of my throat as well. I thought I was going to cough my head off driving this morning. Tis the season.
Yeah.
I don't mind. It's pretty to look at.
Pressure headaches just make me want to take a nap.
Well, you can always go take a nap. You're not chained to being here. I got works I gotta do, but you don't have to be here for them. The cat heard nap and she's already gone. That's gonna be great. I can't wait to see this whole leg done. Be a big difference in the overall model, I think. Golly, how are we getting that angle? Oh, looks like I missed some bronze down here too. Ha! Over stroking. Holy moly, okay. This is another one of those strange little details that, like, I don't know that you'll ever even see this. It's like way up inside of his tail area and stuff like that. And I, you know me, I'm like, oh no, it's got to get done. And I can't just leave it. My hand rest. Well, I get about 20 minutes in before I gotta stop, which is pretty good, especially with my old hands. I know I've got arthritis developing.
Right.
So the key is to like not overstress it. That's what they say anyway.
Right.
I really like the coverage of this Pro Acryl. It has this great ability to kind of like cover and then stay.
That's good.
Yeah, I like the color. It doesn't become streaky, or some of your thinner paints that you can buy, like a few of the Citadel products or some of the Reaper products occasionally will do this thing where they just get streaky.
Yep.
But this metallic is real smooth. Makes you wonder about their other colors. A lot of people, like I said, a lot of people really talk highly about the products, and I can see why. It is a pretty good product. And it wasn't really that much more expensive than, say, Citadel, or it's hard to judge it with my other paints because of the volumes.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, if you need a little bottle of a specific color, this might be the winner. Goes on easy. Very little streaking. The permanence of color is pretty good. So like when it dries, it doesn't fade very much. So its permanence is really nice. Goodness. Okay, come on. There we go. like even when it's a little thin from the water of the paintbrush, it still comes on pretty clean. It's really nice product. Very happy with it. You can definitely tell a difference though that you get too much water on your brush and it really does thin it out a lot. Oh snaps, I didn't do the whole back part of this, like, goodness. Another good reason to go through and redo all the panels, or to color in the panels. Find all the things you miss. Get my fingers just a second. Rest it. That's the thing, is once I hit that limit, I kind of have to like baby it a little bit from there.
You want to look at a panda?
Yeah, let's look at the pandas. So this is what Kristen's been working on. Great colors. Yeah, that is going to look, once you get this green up here around his head, it's really going to, it'll really help make all of that stuff stand out.
Yep. It needs a background. That's all I got to finish on both of them.
So fun. Here, the original guy does a great job with animals and stuff. His animals are always really good. The person who does this coloring with
Cody Roseanne.
guy girl. I don't actually know if it's a guy. Is it a guy?
Yeah, Cody.
So, yeah. His animals are always fun. He does really good poses and really, they look natural. They look like they're.
Well, he very much intended that in that book, The Fragile World, because he just drew a book of endangered animals. So he meant for them to look like themselves and not a cartoonish version. Just
right.
A lot of fun to color. Oh, I see it now. Like, now that you got more of it done, I can tell from here what it's actually doing. When you had just a little bit done, it wasn't as easy for me to see the effect. Mm-hmm.
Right, now that it's got a hole. See, so now watch. We'll go ahead and, that upper thigh section's done, so we can wash it. So you're just putting a little bit of this on here, and that's giving it that overall dirty griminess. There's like oiled metal.
Okay.
And then you let this set for just a few moments, and I'm gonna come back with a makeup sponge and take away all the rest of it off some of the panels, and kind of help bring the color back out. And then if we need to, we'll come back and we'll do some accents on some of the other. We might have to bring some of that bronze back, you know, There's lots of things you might end up having to do just to sell the effect.
Fascinating.
But yeah, if you let it set up for a second, because it's an oil brush or it's an oil paint, so it doesn't set quite as fast as the other stuff. So once it starts to set up, you just come back in. Especially on like these places where it's bronzed.
Right.
So we can kind of bring back the bronze just a little bit. And if you can't get it quite what you want it from there, you can always come back with the
touch-ups.
Right, but now you see how it.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
It gives it like a texture.
Right. And as it dries, you're going to see even more. Because what you're seeing now is you're starting to see the lines and stuff that are in the. Because some of this texture is in the armor itself.
That's really cool.
Right. So what I'm doing is I'm letting the. You see like those cracks right there?
Yeah.
You wouldn't see those cracks if I didn't add the wash.
Nice.
So now you can see them. They're more prominent. The dings and dents. And there's more of them up here on his higher parts of his armor.
Right.
Where you're going to see it more. But it's still overall, it's going to look like black armor.
Yeah.
Which is what we want. I want him to be, he's the Black Blade. That's who he is.
Who knew that, it's going to take so many layers of black to make it look like the right black? That's fun. It's interesting.
Yeah, well, it's black and then silver, or like dark silver, and then black wash, and then you rub it. So it's 3 different levels of paint to get to that black armor look. But the end all product of it is amazing. Because if you look back at this regular black
They're
here,
both black, but yeah, the depth that you got out of that is just so cool.
right? So that versus that, there's just no depth. This has got that depth of color, and when the light hits it, it changes its.
It looks metallic.
Yeah.
Back to painting panels.
Back to painting panels. Painting panels. I got plenty more of that to do. And then I got to go back and check. I got plenty of bronze I think I've missed here. And I didn't do this section right here because I'm always rubbing this part right here, like constantly.
So you're saving it for last?
So I'm kind of saving it for the last, yeah. Because I don't want to rub it off while I'm working on him. And it's something I can do once, like I can actually attach him to the base before I get to having to do that part. I need to get down here and underneath him, this arm, and these legs, and this tail before I put him on the base.
Gotcha.
After that, I can paint everything on the base, but I want to get all these things that need to get done before he goes on there done. Anything that's going to be underneath are going to be just a little bit hard to get to once he's set in. Yeah, it doesn't look right when it's just before you put that wash on there. Once you put that wash on there, it really starts to sell it. And I kind of like the idea of him because the character itself is like this old war dog that works for the goddess or god, or I don't know, the celestial being. And it's kind of like a bodyguard, guard dog, war general thing, kind of all in one. And he's called the Black Blade because he has this big old black blade. And he wears like a blackish armor. But it doesn't really say like whether the armor itself is supposed to be black or it's just black because of age, or... And they leave a lot of things super vague in the game. Kind of on purpose, I think. Let you have a little bit of headcanon going, you know.
Right.
Leave a little bit to the imagination. Yeah, I wish we lived in a world where, where people could just send me stuff and I painted it and I didn't have to worry about anything else, but I totally do have to worry about other things. So getting these things done in a prompt manner so that we can get funds coming into the studio is great stuff. And that is my goal. Kind of get things going. The last 2 weeks have been a little rough between me being sick and my son's. The boy needed his teethuses fixed, so we got him done. But it looks like we're going to be back on schedule again and going full tilt. So we need to start getting things moving. And if you want to help us out, you can always give us those likes and subscribes. That's always very helpful. Eventually, maybe we can get YouTube to pay for some of this, which would be great. We can spend YouTube's money on paint instead of my money on paint. Because wouldn't that be awesome?
That'd be awesome.
Right? Alright. So many of these little things. And I missed the bronze on this one, so we gotta come back and do the bronze up, and then we'll have to come back with the other metal. I'll put the lid back on this. Keep smelling those mineral spirits. Anyway, there we go. That's better. I keep breathing that stuff in. It's not as fun as it sounds. It's not the fun stuff to breathe in. Where was I? I was doing this late. That is such a funny little angle to get in. How are we going to get in there? How are we going to get in there? Okay. There we go. Goodness sakes. Okay, got it. Ooh, that's a fun line to get to and try and paint. A little bit there. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of getting to the point where at least the vlog is paying for the supplies. That would be super cool. Because you get the vlog to pay for supplies, and then you get people to pay for projects. You know what I mean? And that way the project money goes straight to funding the studio on the other end. And then, anyway. Maybe I'm crazy. I got dreams to remember. I really need to figure out how to stream in multiple platforms. That's my next thing I gotta ask Mikkel how to do. Because I hear there's a bigger community for like independent artists like me on Twitch. So I may jump over there. David Sabat. Yes, it is definitely a progress, sir. I got your guy right here. It's awesome. They They had to open the package because I'm pretty sure that the dogs were alerted to the package. There's nothing in it, like, but I'm almost positive that something that was packed in it maybe had substances that the dogs were alerting to. Oh man, it's pretty funny. I was like, why is this open? And I opened up the box and I was like, oh, now I know. It's so funny. I'll bet you they were irritated too when they opened it. I bet you they're like, dang it, you just wasted all our time. Oh, shoot. Should just x-rayed it, y'all. That's funny. Crossing those state lines where it's not quite legal in those states yet. All right. We've almost got one leg's panels finished out. That's awesome. Kind of where I wanted to be today. And we still got about 15 minutes to rock and roll. Gotcha, B.
I'm reading such good progress.
That was so funny. Yeah, it'll be exciting to get to paint that guy. I might do a little bit. I might make his beard a little heftier and give him a little bit shaggier hair, just so he can look exactly like me.
That's funny.
You better be careful. I'm gonna end up with a hair longer than yours if I don't start cutting it. I'll definitely start cutting it. It'll get annoying eventually. That's what happened to me when I was in high school. I'd get to a point where I'd be like, ugh, this is annoying. And I'd cut it back down to where it wasn't annoying.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep. And I really am digging this Pro Acryl product. That's I don't know why I hadn't tried it before. It's been around for a while. So I'm kind of a little late to the party, but man, is it ever a nice thing to use. It goes on smooth, looks clean, saturates really well, has some good staying power, good saturation, good permanence, like everything you want out of a paint, right? I like to see if all their products are this good or if it's just this one. But from what everybody's saying, all their products are this good.
Nice.
Right? I don't know that I'll ever get away. I don't know that I'll ever go away from having all my golden and Winsor Newtons, but for these specialty colors, very nice.
Yeah, I didn't need to replace it all, but...
No. Well, and I like that thicker paint for a lot of other reasons. And I use it for other things besides miniatures. So.
But you're right, if all of them are that good for picking up custom colors, that would be awesome.
Alright. How are things over on the East Coast, my friend? It's, of course it's already getting humid here in Oklahoma. And windy.
Well, it's not cold, therefore it's humid.
Right, it's not cold, so it's humid. Yeah, that's about right. Dave, you missed the storm chaser that had pulled into the Brahms during the storm to get himself a shake, and they had him live on TV at the Brahms. He said sunny. Always sunny over there, I think. Yeah, it's finally getting pretty warm here. We got all the veggies in the ground, which is good. I think I got that done just in time.
Very excited.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have fresh vegetables. This always makes me a little nervous trying to float into the thing. Yeah, humid, I'll bet. Florida's like always humid though. Y'all are even humid in the wintertime, aren't you? I'll trade you. No, I don't even want to visit Florida. I have no desire to go to Florida ever. Like, there's no part of that sounds like my Scottish butt's gonna like it. You know, I don't like sand. I don't like beaches. I don't. I'll go for my kids if they want to go because I love my children. But if you're gonna ask me where I want to go, it's the mountains. But I know you guys love it. Sun in the sand. My kids like it too. So, you know.
I love it.
I know you do, honey. I don't like leaving my country, Doug. Especially not for places that don't have white sandy beaches and drinks with little umbrellas. We got white sandy beaches, Evie. So who wants to see them? It's one of the best lines in Snatch of all. It's the we've got white sandy beaches, so Evie just being an asshole. That movie's hysterical. If you've never seen Snatch, go watch Snatch. It's a great movie. I don't anymore. Novelty has worn off finally, huh? I don't know. I think I would like beaches a lot more if there were less people on them. But like every time I go to the beach, you know, I got to deal with all these people that trash the beach and then just leave, and then it just makes me so angry that I'm like I have trouble enjoying myself. Just because, like, I'm so busy cleaning up other people's messes. I guess that's my own fault, honestly. I should not care as much, but my dad and my granddad, my uncles, and even my mom, we're all steward of the land kind of people. And so, like, when I see the land getting trashed, it just breaks my heart. It makes me angry. Although saying something makes me angry is like, you know, saying water falls from the sky in the form of rain on occasion. Teenagers, no, yeah. Yeah, you kind of have to know the spots to go. To find those best local beaches. Got to find those locals that can show you where to go. Like, go over here instead of where all the tourists go. That is definitely true. Well, if we ever get down there, you'll have to take us to the beach so Kristen can go and enjoy it. I mean, I'll be there too. I just don't. I'll be happy, but I'm not gonna. You know, a little bit like Anakin Skywalker. Coarse, irritating, gets everywhere. Alright, 52 minutes. We are cruising today, guys. Really exciting. And my goal is to have this guy wrapped up in the next couple of paint sessions, so we definitely need this rolling pretty quick today. and tomorrow. So we got tomorrow and Thursday, Friday of this week left. And then I think we're finally back to full weeks with not a bunch going on. Which is going to be great. Oh man, can catch grouper from the beach. That'd be tasty. That part I don't mind. I'll go fishing. I prefer pier fishing though than I do over beach fishing. I want to go sport fishing sometime. That looks like a lot of fun. Man, I really am glad I picked this color up. I'm definitely going to keep using it on other projects too. It's just another great level of that gray metal. I've got 3 levels of it now, so 4 if you count silver. And silver to me is its own thing. It's not gray metal, it's silver. He says, that's an option. Yeah. I know you at Florida you can go do all that stuff. Gotta get a boat. Well, I've done about every kind of fishing you can ask for. I even been noodling once. For those of you who do not know what noodling is, it is it's an American fishing. Well, I don't know that it originated in America. Maybe it moved here from somewhere else, but I know it is very popular here in Oklahoma. It is a fishing technique where you have 2 or 3 folks, and you're in the water of a lake or a creek or river, whatever, that you're aware, you know where catfish are, and you go and you find their hole in the said river or lake or whatever. And then one guy swims down into the hole with the catfish and tries to get it to basically bite his hand or her hand. I've seen girls do this. I'm definitely not. It is definitely not a one-sex only kind of sport. And anyway, so you kind of move your hand around a certain way, and the fish bites it, and then you pull the fish up out of the water with your hand, and the people on either side are there to kind of help you and block the fish from getting away. They're called blockers. It's a pretty interesting way to fish. I've gone and done it before. The one time was enough. Pretty sure I don't ever want to do it again. But I will say it was pretty interesting. It was a really interesting process, and it was cool. It was cool to see it, and cool to. Yeah, I wasn't very good at it, but I mean, I'm sure with practice I would have been better at it. There's Cullen, my son, with his mouthful of stitches now. Heck yeah, I'm gonna be able to knock out these legs. And then we're gonna call it for today. But we're so close to having these legs done. I'm definitely not gonna quit till they're done. My hand's starting to get a little crampy, but
pushing through. The accomplishment will be worth it.
It's so close. seeing, like, I was looking at the cloak on his back, on his tabard, whatever you want to call it, and, like, it's not even the right shape from the video game, and they definitely didn't put all the details in it, but I feel like we can just make it look nice and not stress it. It is the back of the model, so if there is a place where you don't need to stress it quite as much, it's going to be that back or that underneath where people really aren't going to see what you're doing. So we're missing several spots of bronze under here. I'm going to go ahead and put this layer in, and then we'll come back and I'll throw a little bronze on there tomorrow or later on tonight by myself. But it'll be on there by the time you guys see it again. I'll have that fixed up because I want these legs to be done in the morning when we start filming tomorrow. Afternoon, not morning. Well, I guess that depends on where you're at. Afternoon.
Splitting these hairs thin,
man. I know, right? I am really getting into the semantics here. Well, you know, we got one guy who listens early in the morning from New Zealand. Every now and again he pops on, and it's right. You know how homie is at 1 o'clock our time. I think it's like 6, 7 in the morning his time. He listens to us or watches us kind of when he's waiting to go to school. He's in college, I believe. It's pretty cool. I kind of love that the internet thing where we have people from all over the world. I got folks that have this translated into Arabic, and so they can see what I'm doing. It's really neat. See what I'm saying? Alright, we're going to let that set up, and then we'll come back and we'll wash it tomorrow. And we'll get that rubbed off so it'll look pretty stellar by then. And we'll have it'll look more like this and less like the shiny. So, because we want it to dull down. Anyway, really appreciate everybody coming by. Thanks so much, Dave, for the chat. It's always nice to talk to you, my friend. And you know, thanks for everybody who comes by and watches, and you know, all the little subscribes and likes. That stuff's so cool. Really helps me stay motivated and feel like people appreciate kind of what we're doing. Anyway, I think that's about all I got. I'm gonna go take care of my son, who's, you know, I should technically watch him a little bit. He's fine though. He's an old man. At least he thinks he is. Anyway, you guys have been awesome. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I've been Pat. That's been Kristen. You guys have been the audience, and we're gonna say bye. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great one. Bye. Okay.